If you're a consultant and you're trying to help a company set up their quality management systems or just come in and solve some problems, make some efficient processes, it's really easy to over-engineer processes and systems. And so
Meg Sinclair is a quality leader at Qualio, an enterprise quality management system serving medtech, life sciences, and pharmaceutical companies. With 5 years at Qualio, Meg is passionate about creating effective quality management systems for organizations that drive health outcomes for women, children, and communities. She also hosts Qualio's podcast From Lab to Launch, where she interviews innovators and entrepreneurs.
What drew you into the world of quality?
a lot of people kind of just fell into quality. We were often doing something else, and that something else for me was healthcare. Kind of accidentally fell into quality first in social work. Quality is all about efficient processes, making sure that processes work together, that everything is documented and people are trained.
What are the most common mistakes companies make when trying to build and scale a quality system, and how could consultants learn from that?
Sure, I think
Welcome to the Consulting Leaders Podcast, where we talk about the business of consulting. Whether you're looking to grow your practice or learn from the stories of leaders in consulting, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Guillaume Jouvencel, ex-PwC and co-founder of GHA Marketing. Join me as I interview the best consultants in their niche. Let's get on with the show. Welcome to this very special issue of Consulting Leaders. Let's just jump straight into it. What drew you into the world of quality and regulatory affairs, and how did you end up in here?
a lot of people, Guillaume, kind of just fell into quality, as it happens a lot with people in the industry. We were often doing something else, and that something else for me was healthcare, and the recession hit and kind of accidentally fell into quality first in social work, then back in healthcare, and then in medical devices, and really found my niche in seeing what an opportunity there is to create effective quality management systems that really drive great outcomes for organizations, and specifically for me, organizations that drive health outcomes for women, children, and communities at large. So really tying those two things together and creating huge impacts in the world is really where I found my drive and my love for quality, and kind of how I found my path in quality here at Qualio. So really that was kind of my, aha moment. What's that?
I like that a lot. So it's funny, I'm coming from a world called corporate treasury, and nobody ends in corporate treasury by sheer will. And it's like, oh my God, my dream is to become a corporate treasurer. People fall into this and by accident, but then they love it. And it's interesting to see how it can be the same for quality, but then you're just like, wait, that makes so much sense. And when the company that you're working at is aligned with your vision and your mission, this is even better. So I want us to focus on what you do and your experience, and try to extrapolate this to the world of consulting and the business of consulting, right? Because this is really what this podcast is about usually. So in your experience, what are the most common mistakes companies make when trying to build and scale a quality system, and how could consultants learn from that in your experience?
I think if you're a consultant and you're trying to help a company set up their quality management systems or just come in and solve some problems, make some efficient processes, it's really easy to over-engineer processes and systems. And so startups especially want to build for the future. They have lofty goals, and so they suddenly will end up with this system that's designed for this huge organization, when they really need something that's lean and they can scale up as they grow. Because people are wearing multiple hats, they need efficient systems that allow them to be the document reviewer and the approver and the training manager and all of the things. So my guidance to consultants is really to build kind of a minimum creative, elegant framework that works for today, supports tomorrow, and doesn't box in a company if they want to pivot or when they need to respond to changes in the market or in regulations. They can do that effectively because their framework is there and they have a solid foundation to make changes. And really just designing for the organization and who the people are, what their ethos is, and what that mission is, so that you can create a quality culture that's aligned with the actual organization, not the hopes and dreams that you want it to be, but what it really is and how you can have your quality really drive your outcomes for your business.
Difference between the dream and the reality can sometimes be a bit brutal when it comes to running a company and its quality systems. So back to you then, Meg. So who are the primary customers right now and that you and your team support at Qualio? And what type of organizations benefit the most from your work?
We work with a lot of scale up and startups in the medtech, life sciences, and regulated life science industries. So, pharma, med device companies, health tech, all sorts of different organizations at different levels of their business maturity and on their different journeys of quality and compliance. But where they, I think, really benefit from using Qualio is they can create those elegant minimum creative solutions to meet their needs today that support their growth so that they can bring these life-saving devices, medical products, pharmaceutical drugs to the market and create those big impacts for our larger communities and our health at large. So it's the onboarding, it's the wonderful support team that we have that supports customers in using our platform. It's our quality experts and our engineering team who are brilliant in bringing more and more solutions to our platform that really help create that framework and that solid foundation to help these organizations really bring our products quickly and effectively to market while being safe and compliant, which is also the most important things too.
I was gonna say this is interesting because the companies that you're helping the most are the ones where quality is a non-negotiable. I mean, I guess most companies will be like, yeah, quality is a non-negotiable, but when it comes to health or drugs, you want it to be like as perfect as possible because A, it's so heavily regulated, but B, your reputation, and this is where I think there is a good overlap with consultants, and consultants in healthcare will understand what I'm talking about here. Reputation is everything. And if something slips through because you messed up in your quality at some points, you have a lot at stakes. So interesting to see how Qualio can help here. So how do you? I'm really interested. I'm a bit of a marketing freak, not to say guru because that will be not very humble. How do you market Qualio? How do you guys, from what you can see and what you're doing as well, right? How do you guys market, brand yourself in front of the right people with the right message, which can be very niche and very technical, right? So how do you go about that and what can consultants learn from it?
For us, we have kind of marketed ourselves as being simple and easy to use and trusted. We're certified in 9001, 2701, so privacy, information security, and quality, and we're soon going for our AI certification. So for us, we walk the walk and talk the talk and can really walk the journey with customers. And I think being able to brand that and sell that ethos is a big part of our success here at Qualio and a good way to speak to our customers. And then it's an interesting time in our journey at Qualio. We have been an EQMS platform and primarily on the quality side. We're recently pivoting into the GRC space and have created a compliance product that's AI driven and AI powered. And so it's a really interesting time where we can really demonstrate the speed that we can save with our platform in being able to integrate these two things together, the EQMS and this AI compliance powered tool, and save time in audit readiness and being able to see where you at, executives be able to see at that high level where the organization is compliance wise on that journey and be able to speak to boards and investors on where that journey is. So that's a bit of being able to speak to that ROI, I think is really important as a consultant when you're trying to market a solution or when you're trying to bring value to an organization who's looking for an EQMS or consultant partner. It's really how can you demonstrate that ROI?
I like this because I mean I wouldn't expect anything else from you, Meg, and from a company like Qualio. But what you do is you're gonna heavily focus on the product aspect of things because from that everything comes, right? So if you have a great product, people will talk about it, people will use it, people will want to use it more, people will recommend their peers and other companies to use it as well, which makes a lot of sense. What I'm interested into this is in the second layer, because to make the parallel with consultants, and that's the case of a lot of consultants in healthcare actually, they will heavily rely on referral just because they have a great service in the first place. And this allows you to grow steadily your business. But then at some point, if you really want to scale, you need to add that 1-2 acquisition channel, which will allow you to market more, advertise more, and get more people in the sales and lead pipeline. So in your case at Qualio, great product is at the center of everything. I get it, and that makes a lot of sense, and I like it. What are you doing on top to be like, hey guys, quality managers, quality responsibles, quality people, we're here. This is the problem that you have. This is how we fix it. This is how you take the next step. How do you market and brand outside of the quality of the product? Pun intended.
That's a great question. We have a lot of opportunities with our subject matter experts. We have a lot of quality experts here at Qualio who travel to conferences. We attend REPS, and which is Regulatory Affairs Professional Society, and ASQ, another quality organization. Attending those, we also are partner with other consultant firms who are working with companies who are looking to stand up an EQMS and set up their platform, and we'll work with the consultant to even get the RFPs to find a solution. And so having a network of partners that are consultants who know and are familiar with Qualio is a great way for that ecosystem to grow too. Of we have a platform that supports consultants' missions, and then consultants also know that Qualio is a great platform that's easy to use, and they can work with their organizations and their consultant partners that they need to get their solutions met.
Meg, I like this. Don't be shy. Tell us about your podcast as well, please.
It is the cherry on top of the things I do here at Qualio. I have my hands in a lot of things, but the opportunity to be the host from Lab to Launch podcast has been a delight. I get to meet with innovators and entrepreneurs in the healthcare and life science space. So from even investors, so lots of different folks who are doing amazing things, from nanotechnology to peptides, all sorts of things in between. And so it's a really fun opportunity to learn kind of the new technology that's been out there and people who've been doing it for 30 years. There was a married couple who'd been in business together, launched several different products together, and they were a delight to have on. So it's been a really fun experience and a nice thing to be able to get to bring to the world.
I like it, and I like the story. So you're with your team attending conferences, the Regulatory Affairs Society, if I got this one right, the podcast. So all this, who's the target? Like at the end of the day, you have a quality management system, right? This is what Qualio is. Correct me if I'm wrong. So who's the decision maker that you're trying to get in front of? And how do you get them into the pipeline of like, hey, okay, this is our amazing team. You might want to talk to them and see how we can potentially help. Who is that decision maker that you're trying to get in front of?
Often it's executives. I mean, ultimately they control the purse strings. It's important to have their buy-in in making that decision. But the other important stakeholder is obviously the quality manager or quality director when they're making that purchasing decision. And so ensuring that we've got kind of both those levels to see the value, understand the return on investment, and what that partnership is and that success planning is between Qualio and their organization to not only give them the platform, but meet the success and those milestones that the company and that organization needs to meet to get those life-saving products to market. So it's walking that mutual success plan together that really helps seal the opportunity between the executives and the quality manager or director and Qualio.
Makes a lot of sense. Quality. So now that we have a good understanding of what you guys do and how you advertise it and how you get into the room of the people that you need to talk to, tell us a bit more about the quality. So I guess it can often be seen as a cost center, right? Rather than a driver of value. Hussam, my co-founder, is an engineer, formerly working at Procter & Gamble, and quality was a huge thing, obviously. So how do you and your team help clients reframe that mindset during implementation, onboarding, potentially even before in the messaging, to showcase that ROI, to showcase that, that savings and that value center that quality can be, especially in the healthcare companies and the clients that you support?
One of our visions our CEO has is thinking of quality as business partners And I like to think of that as kind of also a complementary solutions engineer. Quality is all about efficient processes, making sure that processes work together, that everything is documented and people are trained. And so that creates a lot of opportunities to create efficiencies in the business. And so when you think about the real costs of a business where there's rework, where there's customer churn or audit findings or a whole missed opportunity because quality wasn't there to help see these things were coming down the compliance radar, that, for example, like perhaps if an industry was going to change their regulations, that could have a huge impact and take away from a huge revenue source for an organization. So it could keep an organization from crisis mode. And so when you reframe quality, not just as a cost center, but as a business partner, as a solutions partner, I think that's when you can really sell and see the vision of what quality is. It's an opportunity. It's not a risk. It's not a place where it's policing. It's a place where, hey, we could approach it this way and have this outcome, and we can mitigate these risks to have this much better outcome. And so I think it's just reframing what quality is and what quality can do. And I think that's kind of hopefully where I like to see the wave of the future go for quality.
And that does make a lot of sense. I like the way you approach this. Something that's, I think, we talk to a lot of consultants as well is client retention, right? So once you're in and you've helped and you've demonstrated that value, what processes or principles help you maintain a strong long-term relationship between Qualio, the quality, and the customer support function? Like, how does it all tie together, and how do you make sure that once you are helping a company, you keep on delivering constant value so they're like, they want more and they're going to recommend you more? Retention is the name of the game when it comes to consulting, and I'm pretty sure in quality that is important as well. So how do you guys deliver on that?
Hats off to both our product and our customer support teams. Our product team has been delivering immense value in the amount of updates and product features they've been releasing that demonstrate huge value and have been things customers have been asking for and delivering on. And I've been with Qualio for 5 years, and the amount of growth and change in the platform has been amazing to watch and be a part of, especially with the addition of the AI power capabilities that we are launching. So that's really been exciting to see. And then we have had, in my tenure here, a phenomenal support team that is a great human interaction in a world of bots and support that really provide top-notch customer service and really great support to our customers. And I think a lot of our customers really value that human touch and that human interaction and getting quality answers when they need them on their quality questions. It's really critical.
Tell us a bit more about you, Meg. Like, in your own work as a quality leader, where do you find yourself the most challenge, and how do you walk through that? I always like to ask this question because we will have people listening to us right now facing the same challenge right now, and it's always good to hear how our peers, people who face the same problem as us, think about solving that problem. So what is it for you, and how are you thinking about fixing it?
It is a balancing act of the long-term vision of what quality can do, what problems we can solve, especially with the growing AI capabilities that we have, with kind of the day-to-day realities of, I've got this complaint we need to handle, we've got this capo, we've got an audit coming we need to prepare for. So it's managing and balancing that kind of tight wire act while managing all the spinning plates. We're a small team of quality here at Qualio, but we are a mighty team. And so seeing the downstream risks and speaking up and helping other teams in our organization solve their processes, inefficiencies, and create opportunities for growth and scalability as we operate more efficiently and grow our compliance. So have doubled our compliance. We were certified to 2 ISO standards at the beginning of this year, and we'll hopefully be closing out the year with 2 new ones. And so without growing any headcount in our team. So being able to grow and scale quickly has been our own kind of mantra, as well as trying to help customers do that. So that's a little bit about the struggle, and how I stay grounded is working closely with my quality team, who are great experts in their subjects, staying grounded in data and making sure that there's quality data that feeds the AI, that it's well protected, and then meeting our organization and people in our organization where they're at. Well, I come from industry and I come from a quality background. Our engineers don't, our support team doesn't. And so really providing that training and knowledge that is fundamental to help our customers be successful is really one of the things that I think helps ground me in managing both those things, seeing the long term and the day to day of realities.
Those make a lot of sense. So let's look at the future now. Looking ahead, what emerging trends in compliance or quality do you see Qualio, being able to make the most out of? What's one of the biggest opportunity that you see in the next 3 to 6 months that you, Qualio, and the world of quality overall will be able to double down on if they catch the wave properly?
I think everyone is talking about it's AI in every workflow and systems needing to manage the risks around that, especially in the life science industry where you might have patient data. So you really need transparency and ethics. And so this is a huge growth area for consultants. And so leaning into new courses, I don't think there are enough lead auditors for 42001. So really, I think there are a lot of opportunities there for consultants to really lean in and get that experience in AI early, because that's a big wave. And then right alongside that is privacy. With all that data feeding AI, there's even more concerns around data. Data regulations are only growing across the globe. So it's no longer a kind of afterthought. It's an operational requirement that organizations have to tackle. And then for me, I think creative quality systems that can kind of take all of these different components and of AI, data privacy, information security, as we're moving more into this tech-based world, especially with AI driving it. How do we make all these burdensome, complex systems really simple and elegant? I think that's going to take some creativity. And so I really kind of welcome everyone to lean into that creativity. And I think we're going to see the shift in regulations, in attitudes, in adoption towards AI, as long as we have the regulations and the guardrails around it appropriately. But
AI is everywhere. We might be two AI avatars talking to each other right now without realizing it, Meg. That's how close we are to having everything AI generated. It's not the case yet. Real person. Meg, thank you so much for coming on Consulting Leaders. If people want to find out more about you, what you do, what Qualio does, where should they go?
They can check out our website, qualio.com, and reach out to our team. We'd be happy to answer any questions about our platform. And you can find me on LinkedIn, and you can also check out our podcast and listen to me there. And that's From Lab to Launch.
We will put all the links in the description. And also, you've gotten at least one connection on LinkedIn out of this. I just added you, Meg. Thank you so much for coming on Consulting Leaders.
Lovely. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Consulting Leaders podcast. We hope you learned valuable lessons on how to grow your practice and take your business to the next level. Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening to this show so you never miss an episode. To apply and be a guest on the show, click the link in the description. See you next time.